Right, today I've decided to can some of my sauerkraut. Now it's been sitting in this bucket for probably 8 to 10 weeks and that's fine. Let's see if I can get that plate out. It's a bit hard. Alright, there you go. It's looking pretty good. There's no mould. It smells great. And it's just white cabbage with salt. Right. What do we need? We've got rings. We've got our lids, 2 different sizes. Our jar grabber. My funnel. That's the top of my steam canner. My jars are in the water bath, filled with water. And about 1 inch above the height of the jars, boiling, trying to boil. We have to wait until that boils. I've got my steam canner on so that my jars become nice and hot there as well, and I've just turned them upside down because it just makes things easier as they keep flopping over, but we'll fiddle around with them after once they're full and get them all standing and put the lid on and start hoping. It's always a bit of a hit and miss with me. There you go. And little handy tip, keep your boxes. I wish I'd kept all of them because it makes life so much easier when you're moving your jars from one room to another. Right. Let's hope I'm not shaking this around too much, and I shall see you later. Okay, I've transferred the sauerkraut into one of my large ball pots because it needs to be heated up, just warm enough so that your jars don't crack. Another thing I forgot to mention, you'll need a nice big thick cloth to put your jars on once they've been preserved, well, once they've been processed. I'm still learning. Not learning, but I need to learn to say the right thing. Okay. Here's my almost empty bucket, and I'll just mix that with a bit of warm kraut. And also I plan to put a little bit of vinegar in there because I just like the extra taste of vinegar. That's the way I ate it as I was growing up, and that's how I plan to eat it now. And that's fine to do. You can add a bit of vinegar into your mix. Okay, just waiting for the jars to boil. They're in there, and I'll put those ones back on after because they won't take long to heat up. And I think that's pretty much it for now. Alright, welcome to my messy kitchen. Preserving is not something for the faint-hearted. And something else I want to tell you about, make sure you've got a really good strong cooktop because it has to hold a lot of weight. So I don't suggest buying the all-American canner for the glass cooktops because it's just going to crack. Okay, be back later. One other thing, we're not cooking the sauerkraut, we're just warming it through. So you've got to constantly stir it, and well, that's an effort in itself. But anyway, we'll get there, and I will add some links for the recipe, for the kraut, the sauerkraut, and the instructions on how we do the canning, bottling. Thank you. Right, I've done the first jar. We pack it in fairly tightly, and because I've got to hold the camera on my phone, I can't exactly show you, but you just stuff the sauerkraut into the jar and leave a ½ inch headspace, and then I use my jar grabber to tighten the rings finger tight after I've wiped the rim, put the lid on, and also I still warm my lids. I don't boil them, but I still prefer to warm them and just prepare the rubber seals a little bit. So it's pretty simple. You put your jar grabber over the top and tighten it up, and it will stop when it's tight enough. I'm heavy-handed, so in order for me not to break my jars, I use my jar grabber. Okay, I'm going to continue till I've got them all done, and then we'll place them in, well, then we'll get them going. Right, I've got my other jars boiling, so I'll be taking those out and putting my sauerkraut in there. And my little basket is up, so that's going to be fun getting those jars out, but we'll do it. And the steam canner is now closed with, I think, 7 jars, 6 or 7 jars in there, and we'll wait for that to start to boil. And once the steam comes pouring out of this little hole, then we'll start to time it. A little trick that I have is in between using the canner, I fill the jars with hot water and keep them in the sink, and then I empty the water, fill the jars with the warm liquid, not the liquid, the warm sauerkraut, and then pop them back into the warm sink so that they're not cold when they go into the canner, otherwise they will crack. Now, we don't need to sterilise them because they are being processed for more than 10 minutes. We're processing them for 15 minutes, and that eliminates the problem with sterilising. So I'm going to do another 7 jars. I think I've got 14 done so far, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, got my next 2 lots going. I think there's 3 jars in the steam canner and 7 or 8 pint jars in here. Just waiting for that to come to the boil. And these are the ones I've just done, and they are pinging, which is a sound that I really like. And we process them for 15 to 20 minutes, so that's pretty much what pints need. As I said, I will put the links up on the video below in the where the links go, I guess. And one thing I didn't mention was we need to debubble, so that's our debubbling stick, and we'll pretty much shove that down the side of the jar and then push the food towards the centre a couple of times, and that will do your debubbling. Okay. I've just gone and put the rest of the cabbage through a strainer into a colander because it was too hard for me to get out, and we've decided that that's going to be part of our dinner tonight. And I was sort of hoping one of my jars would pop. If they pop for you, as you can see, some of them are up and some of the lids have sealed themselves down. Oop, there goes one. Maybe if I hang on a bit, you might hear another one. Hang on. Come on, be good. No. Nope, they'll do it when they're ready. Anyway, we don't take the rings off. Leave them and don't touch your jars for the next 12 to 24 hours. And then you can remove the rings, always remove the rings. And then you give them a little bit of a soapy wash in very warm water, not too hot, and date them so that you know how old they are, and pack them away into a nice, cool, dark place in your pantry or anywhere that you can find a dark, cool space. Okay, bye. I'm going to have a glass of wine now. Bye.